Hebrew tradition known to the early Chaldees proclaimed special properties of stone. In Joshua 24:27 he said to all the people, "Behold, this stone shall be a witness unto us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord which he spake unto us. It shall be therefore a witness unto you, lest you forget." And in Genesis, Laban declared, "This pile of stones will stand as a witness to remind us of the covenant we have made today."
The legend. The year was 1056 and conflicts in Aberdeenshire resulted in death at the hands of Duncan MacDuff, Fife County Malmer. Duncan escapes the Highlands, returns to Fife for protections of Malcolm Canmore. They meet on the Perth County line, south of Newburgh at a known ancient sanctuary. King Malcolm grants MacDuff and his descendants a privilege to have asylum from legal process, provided tender is made to victim's family. The accused then performs washing 9 times from a well nearby, known as 9 wells. The cross monument stands as spiritual witness of this privilege. 2 additional privileges were made for the proven, Pictish, and preserved Duff progenitors to crown kings and lead the new Scottish nation into battle. Now the intro. On a lowlands valley between 2 counties stands a cubit rock base. Time, unrest, and weather have reduced its former majesty. Once inscribed words have a muted voice now. However, the legend of this rock speaks to us through lens of landscape. Using our course framework, we investigate facets of landscape to determine if the legend is supported. On the next slides we will cover 3 of Fellow Stuart's 10 categories to analyze the landscape. 1. Ancient places of power. 2. Scottish burial cairns. 3. Holy places and girth traits.
1. Ancient places of power. The cross was in the region of an ancient Roman fortress the Picts defeated, see figures B and A, holding their advance to the Tay River. The House of Duff was a royal Pict family dwelling in the region hundreds of years after the Duff and other Picts contained the Roman advances. Other groundworks evidence Bronze and Iron Age ring fortifications are nearby. See figure C.
Evidence of historic power of place are Bronze Age trade and military artifacts found nearby. In 2001 there were 5 late Bronze Age swords uncovered during a dry spell on the nearby Tay River. They were found buried in oxygen-depleted silt of a sunk log boat. The boat timbers radiocarbon dated to 1000 BC.
2. Scottish burial cairns. The cross sits at the foot of an ancient hilltop ring fort. I reference figure 6A and figure 7. The age is early bronze or older according to RCHMS. These burial cairns were the resting place of great ancient warriors, leaders, and foot soldiers. As the abbot of Lindor's charter confirms, the stone circle situated on the ridge of the said hill, vulgarly called the Ring of Blackcarn. Figure 6b. The close location of burials adjacent to a girth displayed chieftain power. In any case, the claimant failed in establishing his right. He was instantly put to death and buried near the stone. In figure, 6 of the piles of stone between the ring fort and the MacDuff Cross would likely be denied claims. In Duff privilege details, the MacDuff chieftain must recognize the defendant raising the privilege of sanctuary, or the penalty was death by stoning. Section 3. Holy places. The Girth Scottish sanctuary originates from Irish canon and Hebrew laws. Girth characteristics are: Trait 1. Geographical area surrounding a church. A platform found by Fife farmers plough meters from the cross. The 30-meter spacing between rock altar and platform leads one to think a culty oratory or cell existed at MacDuff Cross. This structure is typical of early religious order works of the culties that served small communities and rural hermit cells. In another county, St. Machetus defined its girth sanctuary with 4 ancient stone crosses that surrounded it. Mugdrum and MacDuff crosses define the eastern boundary of the Abernethy Abbey. Abernethy was the pre-St. Andrew's spiritual seat of Scotland for the culty. In patriarchal fashion, Pictish MacDuffs served as abbots of Abernethy, passing the church-granted title in succession, father to son. Trait 2 chartered. The privilege was documented and written into early Scottish law under the guidance of King Malcolm III. Trait 3. Boundary. Border of 2 Pictish kingdom, Perth and Fife. From Fife, surnamed Duff, because of exceptional courage warring against the Picts, given outstanding privileges above all nobles, because of outstanding loyalty shown to king and country in difficult times, between Kennyway and River Leven Mound, and on the boundary where Fife touches Strathion, is MacDuff's Cross. Trait 4. Immunity from aspects of external influence, homestead. This was true for a while, until King Malcolm's new wife brought external Saxon and Roman influences to the region.
Trait 5. Close proximity to a holy well. Ceremonial washings were performed at 9 wells, 1 kilometre away. Trait 6. Ancient monument. The cross rock sits at the base of an ancient ring fort monument. The rock base itself is quite old, and it was noted to have witnessed the granting of privilege. Trait 7. Close proximity to bows, which are warrior graves or cairns, that are the Scottish burial equivalent, often evidenced by rock piles. Trait 8. The rock is at the base of an ancient bronze/Iron Age structure called Black Cairn. Trait 9. Termini. Reflecting the Irish canon termini. The Culdees of Abernethy and St. Andrews often reflected Hebrew law. This means adopting 3 sanctification rings or layers. The outermost ring is where the MacDuff Cross and all girths are established. A person's deemed spiritual status would achieve these layers. A. Holiest, Santissimus. Red. B. More holy. Not given to much wickedness, but given some. This is Sancture. Yellow. C. Merely holy. Forgiven of high crimes with restitution and cleansing rites completed. Santus. Blue. Outside the blue line bounds were the pagan world, the unforgiven, and the mission field. Conclusion. Although just a rock on the side of a hill, we can classify this stone as having powerful ancient empire landscape features of place. Nearby canon burials reinforce chieftain authority and the power of connection to ancestors. Holy places exude early monastic and sanctuary elements combine with Scottish geoff protections to ensure safety of a new king in a volatile world. The stone marker divided 2 important Pict counties, but was the identified star witness to enforce royal protection of emerging state lead actors. Through the lens of landscape, we find extant evidence that supports stories of the legend. The MacDuff Cross.